And a few things we want to go over. So basically, if we have this, I just want to do, I don't know, some quick edit. Maybe I have some images saved or something on my desktop that I can remove this and replace with. But yeah, no, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll do it anyway. So if let's say I save this, let me save this file onto my desktop. For now, don't worry about the whole process, but maybe I'll just put something on here and call it, I don't know, my fake CV. So I've got my fake CV on the desktop, right? Hopefully you can see my screen too. Make sure. Okay. And I'm going to close this and back to, let's go back to the the backstage view. So new from template, that takes us back to the backstage view. I can go into open, can go on my computer and I can find my fake CV there, right? Or I can just simply go back to my home. I can click blank document and that opens up a blank document for me. I can just click Control O or Command O and it gives me the option to open from the file. Of course, you browse to the right document and you can find it and also open it. At the moment, I still got my fake CV on there. Or alternatively, I go to File, then Open, not open recent, and it takes me back to where the root or the directory that I can find the document that I want to open. So I'll open the fake CV there. So all we've done is number one, save the document. Then number two, in the directory that you can find. Number two, use the three different options. We went back to the backstage view, then we opened and found the directory that the file is existing in, or you go to File, Open, or you do Control O or Command O if you're using Mac to find the CV and the document that you are opening. So at the moment, we know how to open a file that we have created. Let me get rid of this. So we've opened a file that we have created. I've got a couple on there. Of course, I did some savings and other things, but I just want to close all the ones that I don't really need, right? And it takes me back to this. I just want to go back to the backstage view at the moment. So I can start with a blank page. Then we can work with a blank document. You can go to new, all those kind of things. But let's go back to backstage view and then we click the blank document. Or if you are already working with a document like I am, I just simply press the escape to come back here. You just press Control and then I will create a blank document for you. So this is slightly different from the way that I created a blank document previously. So can I double check with you? Do you have a blank document opened?
Yes.
Yes, put it good. So once we have a blank document, we just want to have a look at something. So at the moment, I noticed this blinking thing there is the cursor. So it shows where I can start typing from, right? So it shows where I can start typing from. But at the same time, if you are working with different documents, you may want something in A4, you may want something in letter format. It depends on what you're actually editing for. So basically, most of them come with the dimensions for you. So you want to know the dimensions of the margin that you are working with, and of course, the range that you can type your text in. So there's an easy tool, which simply you click the view, and then you click the ruler and it shows you where the margins are. So it gives you the margin size on both the vertical and the horizontal axis, and it gives you the range at which you can actually work from. So in this particular case, if let's say I want to adjust it, yes, you can drag and drop. You can drag and drop to adjust this particular, the margin size. And of course, you can adjust the margin size even using some presets, but we'll go into details as we go along. Right, so first of all, we just show the ruler so we know the margin that we are working with. If you click the layout view as well, so the layout menu, then you can also adjust the margins on there. So at the moment, we've got this normal that we are using. Of course, you've got moderate, wide, and other things, right? So it's a lot easier if we know we are working with a particular document that has content on. We can type some content, and as we type the content, we use it to change things as well. And of course, at the moment, we are working with A4, right? So I'll just do a quick pause because I've got something long in the chat window that I want to respond. So basically we see the margins, and of course, if you want to hide it, you can hide it. But at the same time, the key thing that we notice is that by default, we've set it to, is set to A4 that we are working with at the moment, and you can change the sizes. You can change the orientation, whether from landscape to portrait. Mostly people tend to use portrait when they are working with things like tables as part of document, or you are working with posters and other things. So at the moment, we are working with landscape. Let's make it really obvious. You don't have to do this part on your end, but I'll just simply open the fake CV and do a change so at least you can see. So I go to the menu. I'm just interested in the layout for now. So I can change to landscape, and then you see how it shows via landscape, right? And also I'll change it back to portrait so you see it. The other things about line breaks and other things that we'll go into a bit details as we go on. So I'll close this because I'm not using it. I don't want to save it, but I want to go through the menu that we have at the top. So we have the home menu, and you see groups underneath there. And normally, maybe on your side, you may have, for a Windows computer, you may have names for these groups, right? So you've got things like a group that allows you to do the copying, the pasting, the basic editing stuff, right? And then you've got another group that allows you to make things bold or deal with fonts, right? Font color, whether it's italics or not, whether it's underlined or not, and other things, right? Then you've got another group in terms of, if we are looking at this, we're just looking at only this ribbon for now. So from the ribbons, you've got another group that allows you to center test or left align test, or basically just do test alignment, and then also increase line spacing, do some bulleting and other things as well. Then you've got styles that you can choose from in terms of the font styles. So from the home, we do a lot of font stuff there. We've got the dictate. I like to use the dictate. We will demonstrate the dictate in a bit, and we've got other things that you work with. Then with insert, of course, it allows you to insert things like images, videos, links, and all those kind of things. So we've got a wide range of insert options, from tables, from new pages or blank pages, and also, of course, all the way to the end to symbols or special symbols and equations. Then you can draw things. Maybe the option is available to you, or maybe not as well. But if you're especially if you've got an iPad that you can link to your computer, you've got a touchpad that you can link as well. Design options, we already really like the design options in PowerPoint, but we can choose some themes and then also our color schemes from the designs. We've touched on the layout. We can touch on references, and especially what if you want to insert things like citations or table of contents and other things. We can touch on all of these, but at least knowing where things are also helps as well. Mailings, I don't tend to use a lot, but if you want to send emails as part of it. Review is something I tend to use a lot. So I just do some quick typing of some random things. And let's say if we want to track who has worked on what and also what we deleted and all those kind of things, we can turn on track changes, especially if you have different people working on a document. We can show like we can hide the markup or show simple markup or show some order markup or show original. So what this means is that if I go in there and I type maybe something new, it sort of shows what change has been done. If I go on here, delete something, it keeps track of what I have deleted. And then later on, it makes it a lot easier to work with this document. And of course, if a different person works on it, it's going to show the person's name and other things. So at least we can see that. So that's something I like. You can hide, of course, let's say hide the markup, but later, of course, you can show all the markup or even show simple markup if the document editing is getting in the way. But for now, we're just seeing what tools are available to us, what options that we can use and other things. So that's what took us to this point. You don't have to worry too much about it at the moment, but we get back into that. So we've worked with the view where we've set our ruler as well. And of course, if you want grid lines shown for you, especially if you're doing some drawing or depending on the field that you're working with, basically you might find this helpful. Of course, if you've got thumbnails or you've got table of content, you may want to view the navigation pane. At the moment, we've not put any content on there. Right. So back to the document we are working with. And we want to explore a little bit, but more or less at the bottom as well. So the current view we are working with is the print layout. So by default, when we created a new file, it took us to the print layout view. Of course, the other views such as the web layout, the outline, and the draft. And of course, also, if you look at the bottom right, you've got the print layout view, which is our current view. If you hover over it, it will also show you. Let me get mine zoomed into the capacity. And you've got like things like web layout as well. You've got a focus view or the reading view that you can actually work with. So again, I'll stop the recording here. So we've got a break in between and